With Apple's release of the iPhone 16, there's going to be lots of coverage telling you to ditch your S24 Ultra and get the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'm going to tell you not to believe them and to remind you of the power of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. The S24 Ultra launched in January. It gets lost a bit throughout the year as sort of other brands release their smartphones and manufacturers sort of try and top it. The Pixel 9 Pro XL was the most recent, because they've got a terrible name, and now it's the 16 Pro Max from Apple. Let's remind you about a phone that launches way back at the start of the year and what's great about it. Starting with its display. The display on the Galaxy S24 Ultra is still the best display on a smartphone to date. Not because of its 2600 nits of peak brightness, although it does help in lots of different scenarios, like outdoor sunny days if you're in a sort of bright sunny country like Australia. Not because of its colors, even though Samsung pushed the update at the start of the year and listened to consumers about the fact that the colors seemed a bit muted, so they gave you a slider so you could choose what you wanted. No, it's none of those things. It's because of the anti-reflective coating that has gone over the display that has compromised nothing. This Gorilla Glass armor truly sets this apart from any other phone. When you have it next to a phone like the Fold, for example, you can see the difference in the black of the black parts of the screen because of the fact it's not bouncing reflections and light from other parts of the room. It is truly just sort of deflecting them instead of reflecting them. And especially in bright conditions outdoors, it allows you to see the display a whole lot better. With that, and with all the other things combined, it's the best display experience on a smartphone you can get. Next is the camera, and not because of its output. A lot of people, the camera comparisons, they all compare output. Last week, we did a video here on SamMobile where we didn't compare output between the Fold and the S24 Ultra. We compared how you can capture photos. Because at this point, the output of smartphone cameras, there's all like a point where everything is kind of just the same and it's just preference based. But what you can compare is how they can capture things. And with the S24 Ultra, with its combination of hardware and software, you have so much flexibility in how you can capture things. It could just be down to the camera modes, like dual recording, which is superb, or single take, which if you've got kids is just unbelievable for capturing a lot of different styles of content in one go. Portrait video mode, where you can actually capture cinematic style content and have flexibility in the types of cinematic stuff you can get. Or Pro Video mode, where you have the control over things like audio and all of the fine tuning of the settings as well. It's all in there. You then have the hardware sort of stacked on top of that, where you've got the versatility to go from 0.6x with the ultra wide camera all the way through to 10x because of the fact you have ultra wide, a 1x, a 3x, a 5x. That's a 50 megapixel that can do 5 to 10 and anywhere in between because of that high resolution. Or the resolution. I know 200 megapixel is a bit gimmicky, but it's there and it's capable, so you can use that. But you've also got the 50 megapixel that the 1x and the 5x are both capable of as well. And then there's video, which is another example of people straight away giving the win to the iPhone. And I get it. From an output perspective, Apple definitely focused heavily on video. But in saying that, Samsung has crept up and their video capabilities is really close to the Apple experience. You've got all of the resolutions you could need, all the way up to 8K 30 in both 1X and 5X, and then 4K 120 in Pro Video mode. And like I said, you've got options like Pro Video mode and Portrait Video mode, which give you capability to record different styles of things. The flexibility is there with the S24 Ultra. And then you have the S Pen. The S Pen is truly the differentiator of this phone compared to not just the iPhone, any phone, even Samsung's own lineup. No other phone will have all of the features that One UI has and then pop an S Pen on top of it. It's just not possible. To have room for a 5,000 mAh battery, a 200 megapixel main camera, a folded periscope 5x zoom lens, and then still include an inbuilt S Pen. That is why it's called the Ultra. This pen not only offers you productivity in Samsung Notes, but it also offers you remote control functionality, or use it as a remote for your presentations. It's truly got so many facets about it and just tucks away and stores inside the phone. Amazing. I do feel that because Samsung have had it for a while, people kind of just enjoy it. The loyalists especially, they know the S Pen. However, there's a whole subset of people that have no idea about this pen. I think that's because Samsung don't do enough to advocate for it. So we thought we'll do it for them. Then there's DeX. This phone becomes your PC. It has the power of the software inside it that when you plug it into a monitor, TV, or something like a laptop, you have a desktop interface that you can control using a keyboard and mouse. And it launches everything and transforms the software of all the apps that you use. You can resize the windows, multi-windows popping up everywhere. Unbelievable that more people don't appreciate what this is. For me, I think the real reason why Apple won't touch something like this for their iPhones is because they have a fear that it will cannibalize their MacBook and iPad sales. And it may do. And I dare say Samsung have probably had this exact same thought about their own tablet and laptop series. But for me, I think where I see Samsung being different is that they would rather the consumer have the choice. Let's give them the feature. Let's put this capability on their device, and it's up to them. If they want to use it and take advantage and not purchase something else, that's great. But if they think they need a bit more, then they still have that option. That's where I think offering DeX on the phone gives the consumers the choice, and is why I prefer Samsung over Apple personally, is that choice that you get. We've done plenty of videos here about Samsung DeX on SamMobile, so I'm not going to go through what it is and how it works. If you're watching this video, chances are you know. However, if you don't know, we'll link some videos in the description and up here that you can go and check out Samsung DeX for yourself. And the last point I want to make is ecosystem. And you might think I'm a bit crazy for saying that, purely because everyone talks about how good Apple's ecosystem is. iPhone, iPad, MacBook, AirPods, Apple Watch, you know the drill. Everyone sort of talks about that as being the be-all and end-all of mobile ecosystems. But Samsung has all of that. Plus, they have the ecosystem of the home. This is the framed TV behind me. I can control that TV using SmartThings on my phone, where I can, if I've lost the remote, I can easily pick the phone up and I have full control in the SmartThings app. The home appliance control that integrates into SmartThings and the mobile ecosystem is seamless because you can do things like your watch from and control things like that. But it's not just the ecosystem of products, it's ecosystem of services that you can also think about. Services like Samsung Health, which is free. By the way, Apple with their Fitness Plus charge you for that type of service. The thing is, if Samsung doesn't make it, they'll partner with a brand that does. Microsoft with OneDrive storage, Spotify for music streaming. Instead of developing their own music platform to try and, go against all the big players, Samsung decided they would partner with a brand instead of just building it themselves. I mean, they did try. Milk Music, anyone? So realistically, what I wanted to do was just sort of showcase and remind everyone of the power of this phone. Because this week in particular, there's going to be a lot of hysteria about this new iPhone. A lot of, wow, look what this phone can do. When realistically, this does it and more. So before we get caught in the hype, before we get sort of caught and swept up in all of the videos that are about to come out, come back to this video. Send it to people and remind them this is still the one to beat. Hit subscribe to SamMobile TV. We're still waiting on the One UI 6.1.1 update to hit my S24 Ultra. So when it does, this will be the place you'll want to be to watch it. Otherwise, see you guys next time. Thanks.